Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're talking about the WZ-114. This is the brand new Tier 9 Chinese heavy tank, and we have the stats of the tank here, but I don't have this tank because I don't really want to buy crates. I have 10 gold, as you can see. I'm a little, I have no gold right now. I'm not going to buy any of the crates. But yeah, we'll just go through the review by looking at the stats here in the game and give my opinion just based off the stats, but I won't have any gameplay of it. First, we can take a look at the tank. I mean, it looks a little bit weird. It is a tier 9. It's kind of got a weirdish looking turret, but as you can see, that's what it looks like. The legendary came on this thing is pretty nice though. But yeah, let's get into the stats of the tank here. So this tank has 2,200 HP. For a tier 9 heavy tank, that's really good. Now remember, these stats are before you put on consumables and all that stuff, I believe, is how Wargaming does these stats, if I'm not mistaken. So I think this has sandbag armor. It might not, though, actually. But yeah, you'll get a little bit better stats just with all the stuff activated on this. So 2,200 HP for tier 8, really good. That's, tier 9, sorry, that's really good. More like tier 10 sort of hit points. The armor on this tank is 280 on your front, which is very strong. Your sides are 124, 60 on the rear. The hull is 170, 76, and 54. Let me just go here. When you're looking at this tank in game, the easiest spots you're going to want to pin are actually kind of on the sides right here, these two side plates. Going with, this thing does have 9 degrees of gun depression. When it's got that 9 degrees of gun depression going, it is really hard to pin. You can really only pin the hatch up there. But so yeah, I mean, it's got a pretty decent armor profile, I would say. Pretty good, kind of standard for a tier 9 heavy tanks armor profile. This sort of like, Chinese Soviet sort of heavy tanks is pretty similar to most of them. You have a decently strong turret and a good strong hold down. You're going to be good. Unlike most of those other tanks, though, it has very good gun depression, so you can do actually a lot of good things hold down, which is much better than what most tanks are. So this does give that an advantage over something like an IS-8 or, other tier 9 heavy tanks. Alright, so now moving on to the gun. This gun has 1900 DPM, a little low, 15-second reload for 470 alpha. Does have a pretty strong 470 alpha, big hit gun for a tier 9. DPM is a little low. You do have average pin of 254 on your AP, 310 on that heat, and 65 with the HE. So you can get out some pretty big HE hits with that 600 HE alpha as well. I think I would recommend running Gunramer on this just to buff the DPM. I don't think the pins, I can't tell again, I forget how good 254 millimeters of pin or 310 is, but for tier 9 it seems pretty decent. Obviously you're going to be fine facing any tier 8s or other tier 9s. It's just when you come along tier 10s, maybe test it out, see which one you like more, because this again has a little bit low DPM, so it would be nice to buff up that DPM. So getting over to the aiming time, we have a 4.3 second aiming time and a 0.384 dispersion. So, not the best for the aim. That's kind of standard with most tanks like this. Tier 9 sort of big heavies normally don't have the most accurate guns, so, it's nothing out of the ordinary right there. Again, 9 degrees of gun depression, that's very nice. That is out of the ordinary. That is probably the biggest plus with this tank, is that it is a tank with good armor, but it actually has gun depression. So, that's very nice. It actually has some gun depression. Top speed here on the tank, 32, 14 in reverse, average of 24. So that's kind of the stats of this tank right here. Again, I don't have any gameplay of it, unfortunately. My thoughts on the tank are, it has a pretty strong armor profile. I would say it has a good, decent armor profile. The gun is okay, it's got nice alpha, but it's not the most DPM. Not the best accuracy as well, but it's got nice alpha. I feel like the gun is the balancing factor on this tank. If this had a really OP gun, this tank would be, really good. If it had, or even just a strong gun, this would be probably a really OP tank. So I think they did a pretty good job balancing this tank. Actually, it does have weak armor from the rear, HEable by a lot of tanks, and pretty weak side armor and stuff. But the frontal armor, especially with that 9 degrees of gun depression, which I said is pretty rare actually for a tank like this, I think it will actually perform pretty decent out there. Now, I definitely don't think it's worth risking in crates, because honestly, it isn't an insane tank at all. Definitely not worth the 30 charms, to get it. But yeah, if you want to risk it, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it just because this isn't a crazy, crazy OP reward tank or anything like that. But yeah, that is the WZ114. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on the tank down below. Again, like I said, I think it's a decent tank. It's not overpowered, pretty well balanced, good armor profile, not the best gun, you know, kind of evens it out. And mobility is just average. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.